tech expert. What do I know? I'm here to just ask questions so that I can know. So Dave at JDG, good morning to you, Dave. Dave, I know that you were nervous about doing this in the first place, but I've made you comfortable, right?
Yeah,
right?
that works.
Oh, thank you. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about tech and today's world. And for someone who is young and starting out in the tech space, before and after, like when you started, how long have you been in tech?
I'd say I was one of the lucky ones. Luckily for me, I got my first laptop in GSS 2.
Oh, wow.
Right, so that gave me the opportunity to explore. Right, I literally learned everything from coding to designing to creating product and many more. I had the luxury of time at that time, right? And I was able to explore all fields and then decided what was best for me. But I do understand that not a lot of people have
that opportunity.
Such opportunities. But I'd say I started like way back.
Well, we've become the tech world right now. We call any child being born today a tech baby. so for a young person who is, because a lot of people that, go through the university and they're coming out and yes, they studied all these other things and even studied tech, but they cannot exactly explain what they studied. What would you say to them in terms of what do I need in terms of skills to start in the real world and get a job?
I'd say if you're just about to start, right, or you're looking to, get into tech, I think those categories of people are the lucky ones, right? They are the ones that get to really, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Firstly, you are not necessarily under any pressure to prove any level of expertise, right? And you do have to. I'd say luxury of time to some extent. So one thing I advise people, right? First thing you have to do the work. You don't have to be lazy. It's not one thing I would just say, start learning digital marketing or start learning product marketing or product design. I wouldn't recommend one specifically. I think what I would advise is you go to the internet, go to ChatGPT and search, top, high in demand skills in 2026 or, skills that will be in high demand that would not necessarily be replaced by AI. And, do that research, have a list of top 10, right? Go to YouTube, learn about each one and then decide what works best for you. That way you get to do something that you find interesting, something that you enjoy doing.
So for you, what is the selling point right now, in your opinion? I know that we can go to the internet, but I would rather take your opinion as this expert. What are the things that we're looking for now to upgrade? What is the selling point? Because even in tech, I mean, Microsoft fired 5,000 people recently, and they are tech. And they are in tune. They are working at Microsoft. Hello. So what are the things that are the most selling for a younger person? I'm going to get to the advanced people in a bit. But for a young person who's entering into the tech space, what are the top 5 skills I should be looking at exploring urgently?
Yeah, so for someone who is just, entering into the tech space, firstly, you want to be cognizant of the fact that artificial intelligence is here and it's taking over so many jobs.
See, AI
so
scares
you want
me.
to learn skills that would not be in demand in the next few years, right? So a few ones that can advise is cybersecurity.
Okay.
Cybersecurity is very important, and it's going to be a big deal in a few time because artificial intelligence can detect threats, right? But there's still a need for human intuition. There's a need for adaptive thinking, right? So cybersecurity and ethical hacking, that's the white hat hacking. That's a good one. Another one would be AI and machine learning. That's very hard.
What is that? What is AI and machine learning?
So yeah, it's you building and fine tuning AI systems, and that's something you need to do your research. You need to basically become an engineer, right? And one thing, especially regarding artificial intelligence, is it doesn't necessarily train himself, right? So humans are still required to set the goals, to interpret the result, to fix the bugs, right? So, going into AI and machine learning engineering, it's a big deal right now. Another one would be, cloud and DevOps engineering. That's something that has, been consistent over time.
What is that, please? For the 101, the tech for dummies.
So yeah, it's basically creating cloud solutions, right? So creating, most very big companies, right, talking about the likes of Oracle, Google, and many more, they require a scalable infrastructure, right? And that's where this come in. So creating interconnected environment, automating that cloud architecture. Number 4 on my list would be AR and VR development.
Sir? Sir, what's that?
AR and VR development.
You explain.
Yeah, I'm going to explain, right? So, because now we're seeing Apple Vision Pro, we're seeing Meta coming up with their Meta Quest, and different tools. There's a need for XR developers. So I'm sure most people are familiar with VR games. So there's this device you put on your face, and then you're in an entirely different world.
Space.
Right? So
that thing it's been around. So what's changing about it?
Well, right now, they're imputing more things, right? Making it more realistic, right? We're having people that are infusing a higher level of creativity and also using it for, to solve real world problems as well. So, having a high level of expertise in that would be very useful. Product management is also good. Product management, is, you basically creating solutions to problems, right? To actual, needs, and there's a need for that. That's also something AI can necessarily do, right? So we still need human strategy to solve human problems.
You just mentioned that, and I remember that it was my brother that sent me a new Chinese AI platform. I'll play the sound for you so you can hear, because I was like, what? I heard this yesterday. And I hope it does play on time. Don't fall my hand.
Just launched a new AI platform called Quen 3. It lets you build websites and apps from a simple text prompt. Go to the platform, select web dev, describe your idea, and watch the AI build your project in real time. It's fully free, unlimited, and the best part, you can publish your site instantly with one click. Try it now. Link in the
And they say it is better than GPT. What I saw was like, it's China, Sha.
I mean, there's been
trusted.
so many AI agents that's been developed that are way, way better than ChatGPT.
Wow.
And it just keeps getting better, right? One of the top AI experts was talking in a conference lately, and it was addressing his concerns and his fears regarding artificial intelligence, taking over a lot of things.
I am very afraid.
Yeah, so a lot of people are scared, but I think what I tell my friends and colleagues, right, the best, professionals and experts in the future would be people who know how to best utilize artificial intelligence to their, advantage. So one other skill would be learning, how to use AI, to improve your workflow, improve your efficiency, improve your, technical skills as well.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about the remote jobs. Why are Nigerians excluded from some spaces in the remote job, field? I will take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is Super 92.7 FM. the remote job space in tech. Why is Nigeria being excluded from a lot of places, like a lot of opportunities? What's happening?
I think it's something that's not within our control right now. The country right now is not in a good standing with international companies, right? Once you tell them you're from Nigeria or you're a Nigerian, there's this level of discrepancy, level of discrimination
Yeah.
that you may face, right? And I think everyone knows it. There's a high influx of fraud, specifically in this country, and that's one thing that international organizations are very well aware of.
Okay.
There's been so many instances, real life
Look at the
scenarios,
tech queen
right?
last week.
Yeah, exactly. So where international companies work with Nigerians, and then Nigerians do something funny.
So what do we do? How can we help this? Because there's still good people
Yeah.
who should get the opportunities to work with international brands.
Well, I think one thing we need is a high percentage of people that are very technical. You look at countries like India, right? Indians are also doing, illegal fraud and all the things, right? But they're still high in demand, right? Because
Exactly.
they can't do without them, right? So their level of expertise, their level of experience. As a matter of fact, my friends, when we're learning software development, at some point we started speaking like an Indian. That's how bad it gets, right? So you have to. They have videos everywhere on YouTube and so many. So I think a high level of a high percentage of them are the expert in global countries or something. You understand the level of exposure, the level of experience is usually different. And you wouldn't blame us because we can only make do with what we have, right? You work with Nigerian companies, and at most you're using very limited softwares, and you don't have access to a lot. And that's where the personal research comes in. You want to understand what's trending in global, and the global community. How do I learn this, right? Relevant skills, learning relevant skills. I see, someone came to me and was like, "Hey, Dave, I want to learn high-end demand tech skill, and I want to learn UI UX. UI UX is not bad, right? But it's not high in demand.
UI UX is not high in demand.
It's not high in demand, and I'll explain.
Wait, so for those who don't know what UI UX is, because I did product management, I did a course on product management for I think that was about a month. Anyway, for UI UX, what is UI UX? Just so people know.
Yeah, so UI UX is a user interface and user experience, right? Is where you improve the designs and generally the user experience of apps, of product, of
Why
website.
wouldn't that be high in demand?
It's not high in demand because I'd say firstly, we have designers, right, that are very have a high level of proficiency with creating this user interfaces. Secondly, for the user experience, we have other skills like data analysis, where they are able to not just improve user experience because they want to, but use data data insights to also improve it. Another thing is it's easy for a designer, right? I'm a graphic designer. It's easy for me to switch into the UI UX space. So you're learning it from a start. How many, for instance, how many companies in Nigeria currently have a demand for that, right? It's a good skill, right? But if you want to be among the best of the best, you have to do something that's really hard, right?
So what are we talking about now?
We're talking about software development. We're talking about QA. We're talking about
what is QA? That's be Epinos.
So QA is quality assurance.
Okay.
It's a very high in demand skill right now.
So what is quality assurance like in tech? What does that mean in tech? Because I mean, in other industries, it means different things. It's still quality assurance, but in tech, what are we looking at?
Well, specifically in tech, it's reviewing, taking a look at codes, at product, at different things that have been built, and creating that checklist of what's worked, what's not working, what shouldn't be there, what's there that should not be there. That's a very simple way to explain it.
Okay.
Another way, I think, I had someone reached out recently and said, I just moved to the UK, and it's very hard to get a job. And
Before, it's how they think that you just come, just jackpot, and then that's it. Opportunities are waiting for you.
Yeah, and it was like, the people here say you have to, create an Upwork account, and you have to, start freelancing, and how do I get my first job? How do I get it's been struggling for months trying to get a first job. And I told him, there's a way you can actually, make do of what you currently have, right? Reach out to your friends, ask them to create projects for you. That way you can, build your portfolio. You can ask them to give you 5-star reviews.
Listen, I have to cut you here because when you talked about, getting a portfolio, having, what products have you worked on? When we're talking about the up and coming, I was thinking, this thing that they say, if you don't have experience, you cannot work in Nigeria. That's how it feels like. But I get you now. That's such a good idea. So reach out to your friends, tell them to come up with a project that they want you to work on it, put it out on social media, and then and get reviews, right?
Yeah, so that's the way you build your portfolio. It's easy for someone to want to hire you when they can see what you've done in the past, right? They can see how you've used your skills. They can see the reviews you've gotten, and that's something you can actually do yourself, right? So reach out to your friends both in Nigeria and outside. Tell them, how about you create this project for me? Give me this tax, and that way you get good reviews. You get to also work on it and showcase your expertise.
Okay. I know that we're wrapping up, but before we go, now, what are the bad habits that we tech people in Nigeria need to put away if they want to get remote jobs globally? And I know why I'm asking this question. There are bad habits that we have taken up and we've gotten comfortable just being, the word is, being bland. Just, whatever.
I think the first one is most Nigerians, that would be vague. A lot of Nigerians are greedy. We've seen it in the news multiple times. A Nigerian working with a tech company, and then next thing, they try to, defraud them or steal their money, stuff like that. A lot of Nigerians can easily get greedy. That's one thing we need to,
curb.
To do better at. Another thing is research, right? Being updated with latest trends, with latest technologies, especially in the the global space. That's going to be like a very huge win for us. Well launched. You go to YouTube to watch a tutorial. Next thing you're watching an Indian teaching you how to use it, right? Staying up on top of those trends and technologies is a huge one. I think consistent growth. I like to say, leave people better than you met them, and so it's important that we continue to grow. There are so many opportunities for growth, both professionally and even in our personal lives. Improving yourself, constantly building yourself. I think eventually, treating yourself as the product. Is one thing
treating
that's
yourself
really
as the product.
Yeah.
I love that. Treating yourself as the product, because if you treat yourself as the product, you want to show a level of excellence and expertise, and you're going to want to be the best of you. Dave Adedeji, and he's the director of operations Fluxworth. And we've been talking about getting opportunities in the global space where tech is concerned. The one thing that I'm going to take away from this conversation is, even if you haven't worked on anything yet, even if you haven't had opportunity to work in people's businesses as a tech person, what you want to do is, reach out to, you have friends that have businesses, that are running businesses, that work with other businesses, even if they're SMEs, get them to give you a project that is, their worry, what they're dealing with in their space. Something that has to do with tech that you can help to upgrade their business. And when you take that, you can always put that as part of your profile or portfolio and say, this is what I've worked on. Imagine doing that for like 5 people. because the more you do, the more you learn, right? The more you do, the more you learn. If anyone's listening right now and the person is a budding tech person and wants to be a Dave Adedeji tomorrow, what advice would you give them?
No, I think we're still in the progress of, in the process of learning and growing.
Okay.
I think one thing that has helped me stand out is my mantra, which is to get the job done yesterday.
Like it.
Something that keeps me on my toes. You want to do something, just do it already. Don't don't think about the excuses. Don't we tend to procrastinate a lot. So I think that's one thing that has really. I think a lot of people actually have the answers to the questions they are asking. They just not working towards it.
I love it. In fact, I should come here. I should call you another day for motivational talk, because I love it. People have the answers to the questions that they're asking. They just don't want to do the work. So do the work and you can scale up. Do the work and you can become highly sought after. One of the reasons I was going to talk to Dave is because, like I did mention, well, I might have not mentioned this particularly, but he works in that space that avails people opportunities to get remote jobs. So I really wanted him to talk to us about some of the things we need to do to come up, to become highly sought